Can't you just go away? You think it's not presumptuous for an uneducated fool like you to come here and interview? You're a million years too early. Get out.
After my mom passed away during my high school years, I started working right after graduating from high school. I was harassed by my boss and ended up getting fired from the company, and I was looked down upon even during job interviews. My life was a mess. Nothing I did seemed to work out, but I kept pushing forward without getting discouraged. Education doesn't matter. What's important is a heart that cares about others. Now, I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. My name is William. I live with my beloved younger sister Jessica, who is 6 years younger than me, and our mother. We grew up in a single-parent family due to complex family circumstances. Our father divorced our mother before I could even remember him. I don't remember what my father looks like, and my mom, not wanting to upset us, never showed us even a single photo of him. Being a single-parent family, my mom would go out to her part-time job in the afternoon and come back in the evening. We lived on welfare, but my sister and I grew up always seeing our mom's hard work. She graduated from a prestigious university. She was also the best tutor I could boast of at home. Ever since I was in elementary school, whenever I had a problem with my studies, I'd ask her all sorts of questions, but she never gave me the answers easily.
Mom, this math problem is way too hard for me.
All right, William, this is.
She never just gave away the answer. This was always the case. She would give me hints and let me figure out the answers myself.
That's it. I got it. Mom, the answer is C. This math is fun.
Correct. Now that you've figured it out, let's have dinner. Jessica must be hungry too.
Mom was good at science and math. Perhaps influenced by her, I gradually started to like science and math too. Mom, I want to go to a science university. A public one, of course, because it's cheaper. Do you think I can make it? I want to get a job at a company and help you out. Life will get much better.
Of course. If it's you, William, you can go to the school of your dreams. I'll back you up, so go for it.
To my mom, I must have been her hope. During the last winter of my senior year in high school, it was just before Christmas, and I was studying hard for my dream college. My sister Emily was watching Mom cleaning the bathroom, saying, "I want to help." Then, suddenly, Jessica came into my room.
William, come quickly. Mom has.
I ran to the bathroom, and there our mom had collapsed. We called an ambulance immediately, but it was too late, and she was gone. The cause of her death was a sudden subarachnoid hemorrhage. She always looked after us warmly without showing any signs of such a condition. With the help of relatives, we managed to hold the funeral. I was in a state of lethargy, and it took some time for Jessica, who was still in the 6th grade, to accept the reality. Our aunt told us, "If you ever need anything, feel free to consult me." But she lived far away, and we hardly ever met, so we just thanked her. After the funeral, we faced Christmas and the New Year. The savings Mom had set aside for us siblings, our current life, and our future life, I figured out the answers and thought about them. On the first day back at school after the winter break, just before leaving school, I told my teacher in the staff room, "Teacher, I've decided to give up on going to University of California.
William, I'm sorry to hear about your mom passing away, but are you sure? University of California is a great opportunity. You have enough academic ability to get in. I think you'll only have regrets.
It's okay. I'll work and take care of my 6th grade sister. This is the best answer I could come up with. I have no regrets.
I see, understood. I'll report this to the career guidance teacher. We'll help you. Feel free to consult us about anything, even small things.
Thank you. I ran behind the gym after leaving the staff room. I couldn't stop the tears that came with the answer I had come up with myself. I came home with my eyes swollen red. Huh? What's that smell? It smells like curry gravy. I'm home.
Ah, welcome back, William. I tried making curry gravy for the first time, like Mom used to. It's curried chicken, because chicken is cheap.
Really? That's awesome, Jessica. But isn't it a bit burnt?
Don't worry about it, let's eat.
The curry gravy was a bit too watery, and the chicken was slightly burnt. It was Jessica's first culinary attempt as a 6th grader. Jessica, I've decided to start working after graduation of high school.
What? What about University of California? Weren't you planning to go there?
I've thought about it a lot, and this is the answer I've come up with. It's okay.
Then I'll go to University of California.
Oh, you got me there. I'll definitely back you up. I was slurping down some watery curry gravy with chicken that was a tad burnt when Jessica made this bold statement about her schooling, and everything that had been weighing on my mind just clicked into place. After that, Jessica started making lunches for me too. Despite being only in 6th grade, she seemed to accept reality very much early. I'm proud of such a capable sister. From a sudden wish to go to college to a decision to work. It was tough, but with the help of my classroom teacher and career guidance personnel, I managed to secure a job at a local company. My name is William. Starting fresh at the local company, I was particularly young. Especially in the sales department where I was placed, everyone else was much older. The closest in age to me was my boss, Michael, who was 25. Michael was quite a character. Michael, I look forward to working with you.
18 years old, huh? High school grad?
Yes, a high school grad.
I see. High school grad. Everyone else here has a college degree.
Quite pushy from the first day. I did my fair share of job hunting and went straight to work after graduating high school. Since then, I woke up at 5 a.m. every morning, took the breakfast and lunch Jessica had prepared the day before, and left home. I arrived at work earlier than anyone, starting with checking the sales reports and cleaning the restroom and serving coffee to the clients who came in, working harder than anyone. It was menial work, but I did it diligently. And almost every day, I faced the kind of harassment that my boss Michael seemed to consider normal.
William, did you prepare the presentation materials for Burlington Company?
Here they are.
What's this? Did I tell you to make presentation materials like this?
I tried to do exactly as you instructed.
It's not what I intended. No one's going to look at that. Start over from scratch. Wasting extra effort again. This is why I don't like dealing with high school grads. I'll report this to the department head.
Michael was on good terms with the department head. Watching closely, I noticed how well Michael could butter up the department head. However, as soon as the department head left his seat, Michael would start talking behind his back.
Ah, that department head is so useless. Can't he get transferred soon?
I was always surprised by Michael's ability to play all sides. One sunny day at lunchtime, the weather was pleasantly clear. I was sitting on a bench on the rooftop of the company building, as usual, unpacking the lunch Jessica made for me. Today's lunch is curried chicken. Should be better than before. Don't lose to M and keep up the good work, the note read. M was undoubtedly referred to Michael. I had told Jessica about such a boss, and she always listened attentively. The curried chicken definitely improved, much tastier than before. After enjoying the delicious meal, I washed the lunchbox clean and returned to my desk at work.
Huh? I smell curry. William, what did you have for lunch?
Yes, my sister packed curried chicken for me. It was delicious.
What are you thinking? We're meeting with a client soon. You plan to meet them smelling like curry? You're not considerate at all. If the brother is like this, the sister must be the same. This is why I can't stand high school grads. Fine, you're not coming with me. I'll go meet the client alone. Fine then. Remember, if we don't land this deal, it's on you.
Angry, Michael left alone to meet the client. I was deeply upset, but as time passed, around 4 p.m., Michael returned.
It's the worst. There's no way we'll get that deal now. Damn it. I'll report this harshly to the boss. That intense curry smell you and your sister created made it impossible.
Respectfully, Michael, while I admit my fault, my sister has nothing to do with this. Please retract that statement.
Oh, what now? You a siskin? I'll include that in my report to the boss. You're a siskin, I'll say.
Frustrated by the constant bullying and now my sister being dragged into it, I finally stood up to my boss. I was well aware that he often reported things that weren't true. I realized how much I disliked Michael about 6 months after I started working. The days of enduring continued. Not only was my salary low, but the expected bonuses were mere tokens. 1 year and 5 months had passed since I started working. As usual, I woke up at 5 a.m., washed my face, and prepared to leave for work when Jessica woke up.
Good morning, William. Don't push yourself too hard. You look tired. Are you going to get a scolding from Em again today?
Is that so? Lately, I feel like I've mastered the strategy for dealing with M like it's a final boss fight.
If you say so, that's good.
Jessica's words felt like an ominous premonition. Of course, there was no actual strategy for dealing with Michael. I guess I'll get scolded again today. I reluctantly went to work. A residential area spread out just a 15-minute walk from my home, where there was a park where my mother, Jessica, and I often played together. That park was on my route to work. Sometimes I'd sit alone on a park bench in the morning and think. Then, an elderly woman sitting on the bench suddenly fell forward. Ma'am, are you okay?" I rushed to assist her, making sure she could breathe easily by holding her in a comfortable position.
Ooh, my head. It hurts.
"Your head?" I gasped, fearing it might be the same sudden subarachnoid hemorrhage that took my mother. This is serious. I quickly pulled out my cell phone to call an ambulance and hurriedly bought some water from a vending machine in the park. Ma'am, I've called an ambulance for you. Here, have some water.
Oh, thank you.
She managed to sip a little water. She was conscious, but I couldn't let my guard down. Having lost my beloved mother, I had learned a bit about what to do if someone suddenly collapsed. Continuously talk to them. Keep them comfortable and gather the bare necessities. Though the elderly woman was a stranger, I didn't want her to end up like my mother. The ambulance arrived. The paramedics asked, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She had been walking and had no ID or cell phone with her. The thought of work crossed my mind, but human life comes first. I left a message at work about the situation and decided to stay with the elderly woman. "Can I come along?" "That would be great. Please." I went with her to the emergency hospital. The elderly lady was transported in an ambulance, fitted with an IV drip and an oxygen mask. While she was being examined by the doctor, I felt uneasy just leaving a message via email, so I called the office directly to inform them I'd be late. A few hours later, the doctor who had been treating her came out.
She's suffering from dehydration. It's been incredibly hot these past few days. She'll need to be hospitalized for about 3 to 4 days, but she's conscious and stable now and can even talk. As a doctor, I really appreciate the courageous action you took by calling an ambulance and accompanying her.
That's a relief.
The lady wants to speak with you. Would you like to see her?
I'll just check on her real quick and then head out. I went to visit the elderly lady in the hospital room.
Thank you, dear. You've probably added some time to this old lady's life. In your suit, you must be off to work. What's your name?
William. My name is William.
I'll remember that. Thank you truly.
I quickly caught a taxi from the station near the park and rushed to the office. I arrived just before noon at 11:40 a.m. Good morning. I'm terribly sorry for being so late. As expected, Michael was furious.
William, you're late because you stopped to help some random old lady? What's today?
Yes, this afternoon we have a presentation at Cisco Company. I prepared the presentation materials last night at home. Here they are.
Which is more important to you? Some old lady with not much time left or the presentation at Cisco Company?
Well, I thought saving a life was the priority.
Playing the hero, huh? You're fired.
What?
You chose the old lady over the business meeting. We don't need a salesman like that. The president and the department head are waiting for you in the reception room. Go and tell them your heroic story.
I went straight to the reception room upon arriving at work. Just as Michael said, the president and the department head fired me. No matter how much I explained, it was futile. Michael and the department head were in cahoots, always ready to criticize. It was clear that Michael had reported the situation to the president in his own way. That day, I went home feeling unjustly treated and frustrated to tears. I'm home.
Welcome back. I made your favorite curry. What's wrong? Did Michael fire you?
What?
I can tell by your face. You've always been easy to read.
There's nothing quite like a woman's intuition. I explained the circumstances of my firing and the respect I held for Jessica. Jessica understood fully and said,
If there's a God who throws us away, there's also one who picks us up. We learned that in language class today. You did a good thing by saving someone's life, and if that's the answer you've come up with, I support my kind brother William.
If there's a God who throws us away, there's also one who picks us up, huh? Jessica's growth as a person and her intuition were always surprising. It was encouraging. The next morning, the curry chicken she made tasted better than ever, the spices exploding in my mouth. At the end of the month, I resigned. Jessica, I'll be job hunting and we'll have some free time. Teach me how to make your special curry chicken. I went to the supermarket to buy ingredients. I wanted to sit on the park bench I used to pass on my way to work and think about what to do next. As I entered the park, there was already someone on the bench. Today's not the day, I guess. I'll try again later. Just as I was about to leave for the supermarket.
William.
What? It was the elderly lady I had helped the other day. She approached me and struck up a conversation. We sat on the bench together, chatting about recent events at a leisurely pace. The old lady, now fully recovered, seemed even more interested in me. She asked me various things, which made me think, can she really be asking all these questions? In the course of our conversation, I accidentally let slip that I had been fired from my job.
I know the president of Davis Company.
What? The locally well-known Davis Company.
If you're free, why not apply there? I'll speak to the president I know.
Apply to Davis Company? That famous trading company? There's no way someone with just a high school diploma like me could do that. What is this lady thinking? To leave without making the situation awkward, I said, "Well, ma'am, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'll give Davis Company a commemorative application and bid her farewell." 3 weeks later, it was the day of the interview at Davis Company. I had studied everything I could about the company beforehand and made the necessary preparations. Wow, this is Davis Company? Their building was a 200-meter-tall skyscraper. The first floor featured a corner store, restaurants, and a lobby used for business discussions, making me feel totally out of place. Well, it's just a commemorative application. I'll probably just be turned away at the door. I told the receptionist on the first floor, "Hello, I'm here for an interview today. My name is William." 2 minutes later, a male interviewer came down to greet me.
You must be William. I'm Tom. I'll be conducting your interview today. Please come this way.
He led me to the interview room via the elevator. It was in a reception room on the 10th floor. During the ride, Tom made friendly small talk with me.
Please have a seat and relax.
Thank you. It seemed he had already noticed how nervous I was.
Let's take a look at your resume.
Sure, it's not much, but please go ahead. As soon as he saw the resume pulled from the envelope, Tom's expression turned somewhat grim.
So, you went straight to work after graduating high school?
Yes, due to some circumstances, I started working immediately.
Well, we generally find it tough to hire someone with just a high school diploma. I think there might be a mistake. There's a corner store on the first floor. Maybe you were supposed to interview there?
No, I'm certain it's an interview with your company.
It will be difficult to hire you here. Do you understand your place?
I understand. There are many people with only a high school diploma who work respectably. Is a college degree really necessary?
Shut up.
Tom put the resume back into the envelope and handed it back to me indifferently.
Can't you just go away? You think it's not presumptuous for an uneducated fool like you to come here and interview? You're a million years too early. Get out.
Just as I was being berated, the doorknob turned. What? Oh, ma'am. That was the first thing I blurted out. The elderly lady I had helped was there in a suit, and another man was standing there.
Charles, how are you today?
Just now, you were telling William here to leave, weren't you? I think it's you who should be leaving.
Me?
That will be all for today. Go and cool off.
The man was evidently the president of Davis Company.
Charles, Mary, what is this about?
I recommended William for the position. Was there a problem with that?
No, not at all.
Don't judge people by their academic background. What kind of person are you? Leave now.
Tom turned pale and left the room.
I must have surprised you. Sorry about that. The president I know is actually my husband.
Thank you so much for helping my wife when she fell ill.
The president continued.
I thought you wouldn't apply to our company unless I said something like that. When we were talking on the park bench, I hoped you would come work for us. We needed someone like you.
The elderly lady I had assisted turned out to be the wife of the president of the renowned trading company, the Davis Company, and the HR director there herself. She had a keen eye for people more than anyone else. The meeting with the HR director and the president felt less like an interview and more like a casual conversation. If there's a God who throws us away, there's also one who picks us up. I was officially hired in the sales department of Davis Company. It felt like a dream. A different company meant a totally different corporate culture. It was a much more comfortable environment for me. I occasionally saw the elderly lady at the entrance.
William, how's it going? Are you getting used to the work?
Yes, ma'am. I'm really enjoying it in my own way.
Hey, just call me Mary.
5 years have passed since then. My income has stabilized significantly, making planning much easier. Jessica is now a senior in high school, and her daily lunch making has evolved with her age and experience. I was always looking forward to unwrapping and enjoying them daily. Today's lunch includes a star-shaped omelet. What does this mean? After lunch, I was called by the president. The old lady, no, the HR director was there too.
William, there's a presentation conference coming up with participation from small to large corporations. Would you like to give it a try?
Me?
Your presentation skills have untapped potential. I threw in a good word for you with the president again. I'm sure you'll do great.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd love to give it my best shot.
Hey, just call me Mary.
The star mark on the lunch Jessica made, so that's what it meant. A month later, fully prepared, I headed to the presentation venue. It was a large gathering, but strangely, I felt calm. Is that? It was Michael, my former boss. He was also at the presentation venue. Our eyes met, and he quickly recognized me and glared. Right, Michael is desperate too. I have my own path to follow. I can't lose. Unfazed, I went ahead with my presentation in my own style. As a result, I secured a contract with one of the biggest corporations. I had outperformed Michael, who had a college degree. Luck is also a skill. Joining Davis Company might have been lucky, but more than that, I focused on thoughtful actions. I never belittled anyone. I didn't look down on others. The president and the HR director were watching my daily actions. People who watch notice the details. Both were thrilled with the contract I secured with the large corporation. I was promoted to sales manager at an unimaginably young age. Now, I'm in a position to lead others. When teaching others, I never simply hand out answers. I give hints and let them figure out the answers themselves. This was a lesson from my late mother. The following year, Jessica was accepted into the National University of California, our mother's alma mater. Jessica is a strangely intuitive and somewhat prophetic sister, but as her only brother, I want to watch over her gently until she graduates.